All right, our final speaker is Savanna Faulconer, Clinical Evaluation of Transdermal Nicotine Replacement Therapy and Skin Graft Outcomes After Burn Injury from Charleston.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Savanna Faulconer, and I am a fourth-year medical student here at MUSC. Today, I will be presenting on our study titled Transdermal Nicotine Replacement Therapy and Skin Graft Outcomes After Burn Injury. There are no financial disclosures relevant to this presentation, and my co-author's disclosures are listed here. So smoking remains a major public health concern in the United States, with roughly 1 in 5 adults reporting current tobacco use. In surgical patients, tobacco and nicotine exposure are particularly concerning due to their impact on wound healing and increased postoperative complications. This is largely due to nicotine's vasoconstrictive and inflammatory effects. In this 2020 meta-analysis study, burn patients who smoke or use nicotine experience higher rates of graft loss, longer hospital and ICU stays, increased intubation and mortality, and more wound and skin infections. This study highlights, along with many others, the importance of smoking cessation in the perioperative period for burn patients. Despite the known risks of nicotine use, smokers who are hospitalized and unable to abstain from nicotine or who experience withdrawal symptoms are frequently offered nicotine replacement therapy, or NRT. This can be provided in several forms, but most commonly as patches, gum, or lozenges. These therapies are designed to deliver controlled doses of nicotine to help manage cravings, while ideally minimizing the harmful effects of tobacco smoke. Today, we will be focusing specifically on the use of transdermal nicotine patches and their effect in hospitalized burn patients. Studies estimate that around 20 to 50% of burn patients use nicotine, and in South Carolina, these numbers are on the higher end of that spectrum. Evidence on the effect of transdermal nicotine patches in the perioperative period have been mixed. While some studies have raised concerns about potential impairment in wound healing, many large cohort studies have shown no significant impact on surgical outcomes. For example, in this 2020 observational study, they reviewed 147,000 surgical patients who received NRT and found that NRT was not associated with increased rates of in-hospital complications, 30-day mortality, or readmissions. These findings, along with other studies, support the overall safety of transdermal nicotine patches in surgical populations. However, these data are drawn from general surgical patients and do not specifically address burn patients or burn-specific complications, as these patients have unique mechanisms of injury, wound environment, and healing demands. As I mentioned, the existing literature on NRT focuses on general surgical populations, not burn patients. This gap in evidence on the safety of NRT use in burn patients is what led us to conduct this study. To our knowledge, there are no large cohort studies looking specifically at nicotine patch use in burn patients, and none that evaluate its effect on burn-specific outcomes, most importantly, skin graft take. Our goal was to fill that gap with this study. Extrapolating from other studies and our empiric observations, we hypothesized that the use of transdermal nicotine patches would not significantly impact graft loss in burn patients with nicotine dependence. We conducted a single-center retrospective review of burn patients admitted between 2023 and 2024. We were able to identify 244 patients who were documented as current smokers during their hospital stay. We then divided patients into 2 groups based on whether or not they received a nicotine patch. Those who did formed the NRT group, and those who did not formed the non-NRT group. From chart review, we collected data on patient demographics and burn characteristics, such as total body surface area and presence and size of third-degree injury. We also collected clinical outcomes, including wound infections, systemic infections, skin graft loss, and readmission rates. For our statistical analysis, we used a Fisher's exact test to compare categorical values between the 2 groups. We chose this test because our sample size was relatively small, and some outcomes like graft loss and systemic infection were infrequent. We also calculated relative risk and 95% confidence intervals to measure the strength and precision between the association of NRT and each outcome. I would also like to point out how our study defined graft loss. We defined it as patients who had split thickness skin graft loss greater than 25% and underwent regrafting. In addition, it's important to note how NRT was administered to patients during their hospitalization, meaning who received nicotine patch during their admission and why. Patients were only given these patches after careful discussion with their attending physician and weighing the risks and benefits of therapy. These were patients who were unable to abstain from nicotine without assistance from NRT, meaning they likely had a higher nicotine dependence and requirements than those who did not receive NRT while being hospitalized. I point this out because it may have influenced their wound healing and will influence how we interpret outcomes later. This table shows the demographics and burn characteristics for the patients in the NRT and non-NRT groups. Overall, the two groups were similar in both demographics and burn characteristics. The average age was around 46 in the NRT group and 44 in the non-NRT group. The average TBSA was also comparable at 4.5% in the NRT group and 6.4% in the non-NRT group. The presence and size of third-degree burn injury were nearly identical as well, with 36% of the NRT group having a third-degree injury with an average surface area of 1.4%, and 40% of the non-NRT group having a third-degree injury with an average surface area of 1.3%. The only noticeable difference from this table between the groups was the proportion of patients who underwent split thickness skin grafting, although there was no statistical significance found. You can see about 1/3 of the patients in the NRT group underwent skin grafting compared to only 14% of the non-NRT group. We'll talk about skin grafting more in the next slide when we talk about outcomes, but this is important to note as this could demonstrate a difference in the operative management of the NRT group and show that patients might have been less likely to tolerate wound care in the NRT group. But overall, these findings show that the groups were well matched as far as demographics and burn injury. This table summarizes our outcomes and statistical analysis comparing the two groups. We found that wound infection rates were significantly higher in the NRT group, occurring about 40% of patients compared to 22% in the non-NRT group. This corresponds to a relative risk of 1.84 and a p-value of 0.009, indicating a statistically significant difference. We also found a significant difference in 30-day readmission rates. The readmission rate was 12.5% in the NRT group compared to 2.6% in the non-NRT group, with a relative risk of 4.5 and a p-value of 0.009. However, systemic infections were infrequent within both groups, occurring in 5% of the NRT group and 7% of the non-NRT group. And finally, and most importantly, rates of skin graft loss were low in both and not significant between groups. So in summary, we found there was no significant difference in systemic infections or skin graft loss between the groups. This finding supports our hypothesis that nicotine patch use has no impact on skin graft take. This is particularly meaningful because there was no significant graft loss in the NRT group, despite having more grafts performed and a potentially higher risk of graft-related complications. However, we did observe a significant increase in wound infections and 30-day readmissions among NRT users. The NRT group had nearly double the rate of wound infections, and their readmission rate was 12.5%, which was notably higher than our institutional average, that's around 7% for burn patients. The higher readmission rate compared to our institutional average suggests that patients in the NRT group may have had more complex care needs, likely influenced by their higher nicotine dependence or other confounding factors that we didn't account for in this study. So like I said, it's important to interpret these findings within the context. Patients who received NRT were those who were unable to abstain from nicotine without assistance, suggesting a population with a higher baseline of dependence and possibly more withdrawal, which could be contributing to the data we found. Therefore, NRT's direct role in infection risk remains unclear, and ultimately, larger multi-center studies are needed to further clarify its role. Now, to answer the question you've probably all been asking yourself, should we be using nicotine patches in hospitalized burn patients? And based on our findings, we say yes. We found no significant difference in graft loss between groups, even though the NRT group did have the higher proportion of patients who were grafted. And while wound infections were more common in the NRT group, they were generally mild and successfully treated with increased wound care, soaks, or adding antibiotics. Our results suggest that nicotine patches can be safely used in hospitalized burn patients, especially when needed to manage withdrawal or facilitate smoking cessation, with the caveat that these patients may require more frequent wound care and close monitoring. Our study does have several limitations. As I've mentioned many times throughout this talk, the administration of NRT likely led to a selection bias for higher baseline tobacco use in the NRT group. And there's also many confounding factors that it could have influenced outcomes that we didn't account for that I've listed, just a few of them there. And finally, this was a single center study with a small cohort size, which limits generalizability of our findings. Looking ahead, our next step include expanding the cohort size and better control for the confounding factors I mentioned in this previous slide. In addition, I'd like to start assessing the safety of other forms of NRT, like gum or lozenges, to help determine whether our findings extend beyond just transdermal nicotine patch therapy.
Please support our mission to improve quality of patient care through education. Join us, follow us, and share this content with family and friends.